The purpose of this demonstration is to show you how to use the price and coupon functions in Excel. We're going to start with information about a bond. We get that information from Finra.org. You can get it from other sources as well. The particular bond that I chose is Procter & Gamble's 8% coupon that matures in 2029. Pays interest at a rate of 8% semi-annually, and it's currently yielding at 5.251%. What we'd like to do is calculate the price of the bond, number of coupons remaining, and the next coupon date. You'll find that the bond functions are all very similar, so once you've done these, you pretty much can do any of the bond functions in Excel. For the price of the bond, one thing we're going to need to establish is today's date, because the value of a bond is always a function of the date. Because if nothing else changes as we progress in time towards the maturity date, the value of the bond will change. So the yield can remain the same, but the value of the bond will change. So the date is important. For today, we're going to use today's date, the time that I make this recording. And the way we're going to specify that is to use the now function in Excel. Now function is very simple. NOW. And then you're going to have parentheses. There's nothing between the parentheses, not even a space. When you do that, and as long as the cell is formatted as a date, you will see today's date. So if I take this worksheet, close it out, open it up tomorrow, that date will be 7/8/2011. In the price of the bond function, we're going to specify a number of elements. The settlement date we're going to be used as the valuation date. When we look at bond prices, we're talking about when a bond trades, and then of course the settlement date is soon after that. And the value of the bond, as far as actually making an exchange, is going to be based upon the settlement date. Settlement date, let's assume, is today, now, specifying it the same way we did before. The word now, parentheses, and nothing in between. The maturity, what they want there is the maturity date. Now the maturity date is in cell B5. It must be in Excel date formula or it will not work. So check to make sure that it's formatted as an Excel date. The rate is going to be the coupon rate in decimal form. This is a little bit different than when you do a calculation on a bond in a calculator, because you're generally putting it as a whole number there. In Excel, it must be in a form of decimal. In this case, it's in B6. The yield is the yield to maturity, that's B7. The redemption is the maturity value. For our purposes, let's use the convention that's used in the market, and that is to quote in terms of a maturity value of 100. Therefore, if we end up with a bond price of 105, it means 105% of whatever the maturity value is. So we've got 100. Frequency is the frequency of coupons within the annual period, and we have 2 because they're semi-annual. And the basis, we're going to use the U.S. basis. That's what you typically will use with U.S. bonds. There are exceptions to this with different types of securities other than the standard corporate bond. You need to be aware of that. But most of the bond calculations you'll be doing will use the U.S. convention. We'll close this out, and we have the value of the bond. Now, does it make sense? Well, the coupon rate exceeds the yield, so we should expect a price above 100, and that's what we get. Price above 100. We get 132.07. The coupon functions are similar. When we do coupon, num, that's the number of coupons remaining from today. So we type in today's date, which is in this case now, the maturity date, which is in B5, the frequency, which is 2, the basis, which is 0, and we close it out. This is the number of coupons remaining for this particular bond is 37. Now the next coupon date, we use the function COUP, and this time we'll use the NCD. Again, settlement date, now. Maturity is the maturity date, B5. Frequency is 2, and the basis is 0. Now, when we see this, that is in Excel, the coding that Excel uses for dates. So we're going to go up here and change this to a date. And you'll see in date format, the next coupon is October 26, 2011. Now there are other bond functions that we could use. We could use a function that counts the number of days since the last coupon date. Another function will count the number of days to the next coupon date, and so on. So there's so many variations that we could do here, but this give you an idea. We'll clean this up a little bit here so you can see what we're working with. This is the result of our work right here. We'll highlight that so you can see the difference. Now if we change the date, so if we open this spreadsheet up in a month, we'll have a different date and a different price of the bond. We also will, depending when we open it up, we may have different number of coupons remaining. We may have a coupon date which is different than this coming October. So this is a dynamic worksheet that it will change every time you open up. It'll be a little bit different, so some time has passed. So that's kind of a neat function, rather dynamic function in Excel. So this gives you an idea how to do this. You can get bond prices from finra.org by going to the investor section, choosing bonds, typing in a ticker symbol for a company, and you should see a listing of all the bonds that are traded for that particular company.